What's going on, people? It's AFlyingModem. Sorry for the lack of uploads. Supposed to have something in the works, but someone hasn't signed off on it yet. So I don't want to release that video. I did have a video scheduled for Wednesday. But in a crazy part in my life right now, going through some shit. The finance company that financed my car, I was paying a car note to, repossessed the car. Now, if you backtrack or if you haven't heard, I was in a car accident on the 27th of April. I pretty much totaled the car. Now, the car was in a tow yard, and the next day I went over and signed, released the car to my insurance so they can come pick it up and whatever, and issue out a check to pay off the finance and stuff like that. Some days go by and the insurance company basically lets me know that the car was repossessed. I've been trying to get in contact with the financing company to no avail. I feel like this guy's playing games with me. He calls me, tells me to call him back before 5 o'clock. I call him back before 5 o'clock, a whole hour before 5 o'clock, and go straight to his voicemail. I leave him 2 voicemails. Today he calls even earlier while I'm sleeping. I figured he would call, in the afternoon like he did the day before, but he didn't. Still no answer. I called back a few different times. Still no answer. And then that being said, still not quitting. Still don't want to quit. I've been streaming since I had a few days off from work, and I'm recovering from my car crash. I'm pretty much okay now. Some parts of my body are still sore or stiff. I'm not really sure how to, describe it. But even with that being said, I think I'm all right to work. So going back to work, by the time y'all hear this, I should be at work. And we'll see what's going on with that, because apparently something's going down with work. But having a lot of fun streaming on Twitch. If you haven't already, you should come follow me on Twitch or come check it out. Great quality, great gameplay. If you've been on my channel for a while now, you know that I pride myself on my gameplay and my multiplayer skills and so on. And I've been getting pretty good with Titanfall 2. The copy of Overwatch for PS4 is still being given away until the 28th of May. So that giveaway is still going on. All you got to do to get entered is, go follow the live stream. I realize I probably sound like all down and so on, and I kind of am, because when I think about what the hell I'm going through, it's like, man, this shit is crazy. But for the most part, I'm okay. I'm maintaining. Yeah, seen a lot of success on, Twitch, and it feels good. And I want to bring more people over there. If you're from Twitch and you came over to YouTube to check out the videos and everything, I really appreciate that too. But enough with all that. This video is supposed to be about Ryzen 7 1700. It's been I want to say like almost 2 months since I got my Ryzen 7 CPU. Yeah, about 2 months. A lot of people are talking about it. The launch has kind of come and gone, and everybody pretty much knows everything there is to know about Ryzen 7. So I kind of just wanted to give my, last little opinions of Ryzen 7 and the Ryzen family and everything like that. So I'll start off by saying, for whatever reason, people expected Ryzen 7 to beat Intel, and I was hopeful for it, but I didn't necessarily believe that they would. I just wanted them to compete with Intel, right? Because if you don't know, I say this a lot, but if you don't know, and not that I say this next part a lot, but I say if you don't know a lot, that's what I say a lot. But I don't like paying premiums. Like the whole reason I even looked into and even built my original computer was because I figured out that buying a laptop I was basically paying a premium. You know, I was paying for it being portable and so on and so forth, but there was also like a hefty premium on there, and for not the same performance and so on. So I was just like, screw that, I'm gonna just build a desktop. And I did that. I'm very glad I did, but I don't like paying premiums, and that's mostly why I went with AMD initially, because Intel charges premiums like crazy. They barely have any IPC games, and you know, it's kind of like refresh after refresh and so on. But like I said, barely any IPC games, and they charge, you know, more for each iteration, and it's a hefty premium. I know I can go with some older generation i7s and so on and so forth and be fine, but now, as y'all can see, they're locking, you know, features and operating systems, and even some games are being locked behind the newer hardware, where you have to have this newer hardware to even do some of these things. So, you know, that's why I went with you know, the Ryzen 7 or whatever, and I was hoping that Ryzen would at least compete with Intel and everything. And, you know, I follow Ryzen 7 heavily, like the news and when it was going to be released, how much it was, what's the specs, what it's looking like. So with that being said, like I said earlier, I just wanted Ryzen to compete with Intel's CPUs and stuff like that. I'm happy to say they compete with Intel's CPU. I'm also happy to say that I am severely happy with my purchase. You know, my Ryzen 7 makes rendering videos like a breeze, playing games a breeze. Like, you know, what is brought into my life with the time management, like I have more time now to do certain things and so on. I learned a valuable lesson too, because I was kind of like overhyped and kind of oversold on Ryzen and some of its capabilities, but at the same time, you know, it wasn't AMD's fault, because they didn't really oversell it. They kind of just, you know, led us on in a way and let our minds go wild because of all the stuff that was going on. And you know, it happens to the best of us. We get caught up in the hype. I would still recommend a Ryzen 7 1700 to anybody, because it's basically the same chip as the 1700X and the 1800X if you're overclocking. If you're not overclocking, you're willing to pay the premium for the 1700X and the 1800X, then, you know, for the guaranteed clock speeds and so on, then by all means you should get the 1700X or the 1800X. You know, I couldn't be happier. Well, no, excuse me, I could be happier, but it's definitely met my expectations for the most part. And initially I was kind of mad because it was like, oh, it's not beating the Intel, and I was kind of like grabbing my pitchfork and joining the whole mob, like, oh, you lied to us. And then I kind of just took a step back and I was like, but did they lie to us? And then, you know, when I started looking at the benchmarks and everything, and then like I was kind of not even paying attention to the visual of the video. I was just listening to it, and the people weren't even putting it into proper context. They were just like, here we see that Intel still beats it, here Intel beats it, here Intel beats it. And I was just like, huh, they're not even competing. Like I was upset. But then when I went back and I was watching these videos, because I was listening to the videos when I was at work, so whenever I'm like, I need to rewatch these things for you know, to see what's going on. When I rewatched them and I'm looking at these benchmarks, I'm like, yo, it beats it. Yeah, it does, guaranteed. You know, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. But at the same time, it's by like 7, 10, maybe 15 frames and so on and so forth. Now, in certain cases, that's a big deal, but those large differences are like far and in between. Most cases it's like single digits, or like they use the same, they're like neck and neck, you know. So like I said, I follow Ryzen very heavily. I'm very happy with my purchase. I would still recommend it to anybody that you know, would like to you know, get a Ryzen 7 and so on. So that's my little video about the Ryzen 7, giving you a little update. We're almost at 600 subscribers. So if we get 600 subscribers, I will finally do my computer log build, where I show y'all building my computer, the Phoenix. That's what I call it, the Phoenix. So with that being said, man, it's been AFlyingModem. I will catch y'all later. Make sure y'all like the video. If you like the video, consider following me on Twitter and Twitch. I know y'all would like that. On Twitter, you can get early updates and know what's going on. And on Twitch, you can watch my live gameplays. Later on, probably during the week or something, there will be a Twitch stream highlight. I got a really cool game in Titanfall 2, and I was like really having a lot of fun and animated and so on. So I'll give y'all a little taste of what's going on at Twitch. Yeah, man. So that's pretty much it. I'll catch y'all later.